Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're doing the full collection lip swatches of the new Morphe liquid lipsticks. They launched today. I will have this video up when they are launched, so I will put them in the description bar below. I'm going to go through each color, tell you my thoughts on the formula and the color, so let's get started. I'm starting with Virgin, which I think will be extremely popular. As you can see, it applied evenly. It didn't have any streakiness. It's a really beautiful nude color, and the texture of these is kind of like the Ofra Cosmetics lipsticks, very moussey, not drying at all. So now we're going to go into the second shade. This one is called Brunch. This is a beautiful nude again, and this is a little bit more peachy though, a little bit more warm. You'll see me applying this. It applied very nicely, very pigmented, again, very moussey texture, so not watery at all. And I felt like I kept rubbing my lips together and kind of licking my lips and all those things, and it wasn't patching, it wasn't clumping, which is a good sign. So now we're going to go into the next shade. This one might be my favorite of the whole bunch. This is called Vanity. In the tube, it looked like a light purple color, but it's actually a really gray, muted nude. I think a lot of people are going to love this color. Again, it applied beautifully, very pigmented, very smooth. I didn't have any patchy problems. You'll see going into the deeper colors, some of them are patchy, a little bit streaky, and I will note that. I'll tell you about each color's formula because there is some differences in formula. So now I'm going into the next shade. Again, I think is going to be very, very popular. This is Sasha. So this is a gray toned, I don't know if I want to say nude. It's just like a gray toned, muted kind of grayish color. Very pretty, very smooth, nice pigment. Didn't have any problems trying to get it even. You'll see it here. It's almost, it reminds me of Gerard Cosmetics Underground. Just a very like gray toned, almost like with a purple hint. I think a lot of people are really going to love this color. And now we're going to go into the next one, which is Jealousy. This one is a nude. This would be a good nude for deeper skin tones. For me, it is pretty dark on my skin, but I think a lot of people will really love this color. It's almost like a brick brown nude. Good formula. Didn't have any problems with skipping, as you can see. Very opaque, very pigmented. I think this would be a really light nude for deeper skin tones, like maybe an NC 45 and deeper than that. So I'm about an NC 30, so just to give you kind of a reference of my skin tone. Now I'm going into Suspect. This one I think is going to be popular as well. This is more of a red tone, more of like a barn red color. Again, very neutral on deeper skin tones, I'm sure. I didn't have any problems with this formula as well. Very nice, very even. You can see there, very moussey. It's so weird how some of the colors are streaky when we get into the deeper colors. And the light ones though, I would say the first 11 all were very nice, very smooth. I do have a discount code for these and I will leave it on the screen. Also, these are $12.99 per tube, so I just want to let you guys know that. So now I'm going into the next shade, Schoolgirl, another one of my favorites. I think a lot of people are going to really like this. This is a nude pink. Still nude enough for my skin tone, so I almost feel like this would be comparable to maybe Kylie Cosmetics Candy K. It's just a lighter pinky toned nude color. So I didn't have any problems with formula. I feel like this one is going to be very universal. Almost like Gerard Cosmetics Serenity that Manny did. Just very universal. It could work for any skin tone. It might look a little bit lighter on tan skin tones, but it's just really a beautiful neutral color I think that anyone can wear. Now we're going into Unsettled, which is I would say like a more pinky toned, mauve-y neutral. Again, I think this is going to be very, very popular. Of course, the nudes are going to be popular, the nudes and the mauve tones. So this one I didn't have any problems with. This one applied very beautifully, evenly. Just a really nice mauve-y mid-tone. I think a lot of people are going to love this color. I think they did a good job because they came out with 10 kind of nude, neutral, mauve-y shades, and then they did the brighter shades. I think obviously the nude shades are going to fly out first, so if you have any of these that you want, I would get your hands on them because I think they're probably going to go out first. So now I'm going into Fancy Pants. This one is a more pinky color, like a pink, true pinky, I want to say a red tint, but it's not really a red tint. It's just more pink than the mauve colors. I didn't have any problems with this formula. It's pretty opaque. As you can see, pretty easy to apply. It looks even. And I think a lot of people are going to like this as well for the people that just want just a pretty pink for every day. I think this would be a good option. Now I'm going into Fatty. This one is a little bit more of a kind of, brick color, I would say a brick color. I don't know how to, I'm not good at describing this. Can you tell? I didn't have any problems with formula on this one either. It applied really nicely, really evenly. I don't know. I feel like this formula is going to be a hit for people because it's not drying. And I know the Ofra Cosmetics liquid lippies are really raved about. And that was my first initial thought when I put these on, is it really felt like almost like the Ofra or the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams, just very moussey. So now I'm going into Layla. This might be my least favorite, just color-wise. The formula was great on this one, but the color, I just think it's going to be hard. It's not the most flattering color. It's a very almost pastel, purple, cool pink. It's almost just like a Barbie color, but just a little too Barbie. I don't see a lot of people gravitating toward this color, so I would say that's probably my least favorite of the bunch. Now we're going to go into Peanut. I think a lot of people are going to really like this color as well. This one reminds me of a Kathleen Lights color, just a really orangey, rusty color for the lips. I know Kathleen did some collabs. I think with Ofra she did like Havana Nights, and I forget what the other one was called, but this kind of reminds me of that. Very, very flattering, really, really pretty, especially for fall. I know we're going out of fall, but I think this could be, this is kind of like the 90s look, just like a brown, orangey, just monotone lip. So now I'm going into the next one. This one is Nibble. So this is a true, kind of like a brown. I will say I did start having some streakiness here, and you can see in the clips, this is the first one I really thought, okay, there's a little bit of sheerness, a little bit of streakiness. So I found that you can layer these and it doesn't get weird, but you'll see as I'm applying it, it's kind of streaking. I did my best to build it up, and I think in the end it's very, very pretty, but I just wanted to note that you might have to do a couple coats to really get this one opaque, but it's super, super pretty. I think a lot of people will really like this one. Now I'm going into Mood, which is a deep purplish, vampy color. You guys know I love my vampies. Again, it is streaky. When I say streaky, I don't want to say it's unmanageable. It's just you're going to have to layer a few times just to make sure that everything's opaque. You can see here I had a little bit of streakiness going on still. To be honest, a girl is tired after swatching all these lip stuff. So I was like, all right, this is good enough. If I were to do a tutorial, I would make sure to go over it a few times, but just wanted to note this one can be a little bit streaky, so you're going to have to apply multiple layers. Next, this one was probably the worst offender as far as streakiness. This one is called Bloodshot. I love this color. I think a lot of people are going to like this color, but this one was the hardest one to work with in my opinion. I had to keep layering and layering. You can see in my top lip there is some uneven patches where some parts are darker than others, but again, you can get it to work. I just think that it's something about the darker formulas, it's just harder to get them even. So now I'm going into Hot Shot, which is a bright, bright red, very pretty, absolutely great formula, even all around. I didn't have any streakiness, very moussey as you can see. It's almost like the darker shades have a little bit more water to them, so they're not as smooth and kind of creamy as the moussey ones. The darker ones seem like there's like a mix between mousse and water, and that's why they're having that streakiness, but this one was 100% opaque. I didn't have any issues applying it. I think a lot of people will like that if they want just a true bright red. And now we're going into the shade Morphe. This one is a deeper red, and I want to say, I'm trying to watch my clips just to remember. I want to say this one had a tiny bit of unevenness, but not really. I feel like this one was pretty consistent. You can see on my top lip a little bit of like sheerness, so you might have to double up the layers on this one, but I don't remember having a hard time applying this. And my poses are getting old, you guys. I was like, how many poses can I do? I can't. I was like, I got a cold. We're going to power through this. So now I'm going on to Homecoming. This one is a deeper berry kind of pink color. I think a lot of people are really going to like this color as well. And I don't remember having problems with this one. I don't think so. I think this one applied pretty nicely. Yeah, again, pretty nicely. You might have to double up the layer on the outer corners, but pretty opaque, really nice. I didn't have much problem with streaking or anything like that. And now we're going to go into the next one. This next shade is called Hollywood Nights. So this is like leaning more on the purple side. We're going into the kind of crazy colors. This one, I think there was a little bit of patchiness. I had to work with it and add some more layers. I'm trying to see here. Yeah, this one was a little bit more patchy. I don't want to say streaky. It was just a little more sheer in areas. So I think you would have to put a couple layers, and if you can tell, my lips were stained to hell by this point. So I was kind of working with what I had. And now I'm going into the next one, which is Kamikaze. These colors are not for the faint of heart. This one is a purple color. I don't remember having many problems with this one. I think the darker colors were just a little bit more sheer. Again, a little bit more watery, but pretty opaque in my opinion. This one applied pretty nicely, pretty evenly. Shockingly, I kind of like this color. I know it's a little bit crazy, but sometimes you just have to go for it. So now I'm going into Juju, and this one is a mix between blue and purple if I had to kind of describe the color. It's like they took Kamikaze and put a little bit of blue in it. And I think this one was sheer, if I remember right. Just a little bit hard to work with, a little bit, yeah, this one was sheer. This wasn't my favorite one. I had to layer up again on the top, so you can get it to work, but I would say this one takes a couple coats to really get it super opaque. And then the last one of the collection is Gypsy. This one is basically a blue color. They all look kind of similar in the two of the last three, but this one is a true blue. It's like they took all of the purple out. And this one, I feel like I did okay. It was a little bit sheer, but you could build it up. So I feel like at the end, it was pretty good. So there is the lip swatch, and that completes the swatches. I will leave them all linked down below. They are $12.99 each. You can use my code BABSBEAUTY to save money. What ones stood out to you guys? I love you guys. I hope you'd enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video.